the desert of the real.
Welcome to the Desert of the Real. I'm your host, Ryan Hudson. Joined with me as always is a teacher who also likes to create armies under his name.
Actually, that's not entirely false.
I know!
Okay. Yeah, Jason Deeds.
The Desert of the Real is a movie podcast where I force Jason to watch big blockbuster movies just like Harry Potter because he did not think they were worth his time. We're currently watching Harry Potter. All of them, even those other ones.
No.
We're going off script right here. Okay, here we go.
I don't think we've had a straight one of these for a long time, actually.
I could basically do it without reading it, but let me read it, though.
Okay.
We're here to ask if this movie has anything deep to say. We're two English language arts high school teachers with graduate degrees, and we attempt to use our academic training to dig deeply into movies. We explore the creativity, philosophy, film studies, and ethics in our films and push you, our listeners, to think critically about your entertainment. Thank you for being here. We love you so much. And also, give our podcast a rating of 5 stars if you haven't done that.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Give it a like and a share.
If we don't get more people, I'm quitting soon.
No! We have so many movies to watch.
I'm just kidding. Actually, Ryan's talking about writing a book, but I'm not writing a book for 40 people to read. So, if we want the book, we gotta get it going on. And you uninstalled your social media, so you can't even run our campaign anymore.
I do it once a day now. It's not like
anyway because you didn't ever do anything with the campaign.
What I would say, hey, follow us on socials. But mostly it's me popping in every now and then being like, hey, here comes that episode. Here's our episode. So I'm not so good at social media.
That's okay.
It's also like you have to do that like every day.
Yeah, we need to find somebody that can run a social media campaign for us.
Yeah, because we do have technically Twitter. We have a Blue Sky. We have Threads. I think we have Instagram too, but nothing's on there. Anyhow, so Order of the Phoenix is directed by a man named David Yates. David Yates, he takes over the franchise. He does the rest of the Harry Potter movies. He does the 3 Fantastic Beasts movies. He becomes the Harry Potter everything.
God.
I don't really know his filmography before Harry Potter. He mostly British stuff. He does a lot of TV. There's a movie called The Trickborn Clement. What the heck? How would you say that?
I don't know. Tickborn Clement.
The 9th richest nobleman in England disappears after a South American shipwreck. I don't think this movie really exists. And he does TV, a movie called The Young Visitors, more TV, and then Harry Potter. His filmography is weird that way. But then he gets handed the biggest franchise, one of the biggest franchises of all time. He did The Legend of Tarzan in 2016, and then back to Harry Potter movies. And then his only other movie that's not Harry Potter is The Pain Hustlers on Netflix. And I saw that and liked that with Chris Evans and Emily Blunt. It's about how the pharmaceutical companies are basically telling doctors to, hey, prescribe our drugs so we get money. Yeah. And it's more for us getting money than helping people. Like, this is a bad part of life. And I like that movie. So yeah, it's mostly Harry Potter, Tarzan, and one other thing in a way. But I think this movie is very British right away. Like, you get kind of the first chance you see London. They fly by it several times, and you're like, no, this is England. Like, this is where the movies are taking place, as opposed to just the castle. When him and Harry and Dudley are running away, and the camera's all shaky, it reminded me of 28 Days Later. It's like another British film. I don't know if that's on purpose, but it's like, for some reason, it feels very British. And he must be doing a good job because he does all of the rest.
I guess. I mean, of the 5 we watched, this is my favorite by far.
And this is, and I've mentioned this a few times, but some people say this one's the best. Some people say it's the worst. Some people
Thank you.
Do you want anything to drink? Did Ryan offer you anything? We have Diet
He
Coke,
came with a
Dr.
drink.
Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper, Sprite, Fresca.
A table would be nice.
I'll
I'm joking.
oh.
That was a joke.
No wonder
See
you
that
like
sheet?
me better.
What would you like?
Yeah, Dr. Pepper would be great.
You got it.
Dear listener, we were at my house.
We are.
My wife has brought a charcuterie board.
Which is awesome.
We got crackers and meat.
I feel like we just decided we're no longer recording in our little room closet. We're now going to be recording here from now on.
Not even think about it, buddy. Something I think is funny is it feels like the first decision David Yates made was, Harry, you're getting a haircut. And a couple other things changed besides Harry's hair. Like the Dementors get a relook.
Which I didn't like. But
You don't like? I think it's...
I like the originals.
I do too, but I wonder, I don't know why, but I wonder if it's because, I don't know, they look kind of like the ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings. How can we make them more specifically not that? Or even like the Ghosts of Christmas Future from the Muppets.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a
They
big...
did give that.
But in a weird roundabout way, the same thing kind of happened with Prisoner of Azkaban. Like, oh, this feels more real than it has before. I guess Goblet of Fire is maybe a dip back into fantasy or whatever. But when Harry's just sitting at the playground and
Yeah.
it just feels like this exists in our real world.
But it took me basically the entire opening scene to figure out who the heck
Dudley was? Yeah.
I'm like, did they change?
No.
Oh, well, he changed a lot.
So what's interesting is there was a chance that they were going to switch actors in this franchise. Like, they didn't sign on for all movies. And I think around about here, it wasn't set in stone that even our main characters would do the rest of the franchise.
Oh, wow.
In fact, it was like an announcement. Yes, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint will be Harry, Ron, and Hermione for the rest of the movies. Like, I think maybe the original plan was like, oh, how do we make them age appropriately and make it make sense? We'll switch actors halfway through or something. I think that was kind of the plan at first, but they didn't need to, even though by the end they looked maybe too old for 17-year-olds and stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? Nowadays we have like Stranger Things. There was literally 4 years in between season 4 and season 5. In the story, it's only like 1 year, you know? So it's like Millie Bobby Brown got married and has a kid since the last season in real life, where it takes so long to make these things, they age out of it kind of. Or even though the same thing still happened there, it's just not as bad as it is now.
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, that guy, actually what's interesting is, what's his name? The actor is in a ton of movies.
Oh,
Arguably, he's one of the most successful Harry Potter child actors. Because, like, Daniel Radcliffe does a lot. You know what I mean. Emma Watson did a lot, too. But not so much. Rupert Grint is hardly in anything besides a few
because
things.
he's annoying.
Also, they have that sweet, sweet Harry Potter money, you know?
Yeah.
But his name is, his real name is Harry Melling. And he, besides Harry Potter, he just shows up all the time. In fact, he was in The Pale Blue Eye acting across Christian Bale, you know?
Really?
Yeah. He was in the Macbeth movie. He was in Queen's Gambit, The Devil All the Time. Movies I've seen and I would say are pretty good, you know? So, as compared to a lot of the other actors.
But he's not a lead.
No. Except for Pale Blue Eye, which isn't a huge movie, but he's still acting co-stars with Christian Bale as the main lead. And he's like Edgar Allan Poe in it.
Yeah, it's actually a really, really good one.
It's not bad. So
I liked it.
Arguably one of the most,
That's interesting. I would not have thought that.
Something that's always annoyed me with the book version is Harry's got way too much angst.
I do remember that. This is the angsty one.
In a way, I'm glad the movie gets rid of a lot of it because it's like, all right, Harry, calm down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, especially at the ending of this movie, when he's supposed to be like yelling at Dumbledore, breaking his things, it's like, all right, turn the angst off on this scene where we don't get anything. But I kind of like how it's like, all right, we got rid of Harry is just angry about things. Rightfully so, but reading about it, sometimes it's like, all right, we get it.
Yeah.
I have usually put this at the bottom of my rankings for the Harry Potter movies.
It's not surprising.
But this time watching it, removed from like comparing book to movie and more like watching it with this podcast in mind, I liked it the most I've ever liked it.
Oh.
Because this came out in 2007, and I remember that because the first Transformers movie came out. And I love the first Transformers movie. I unashamedly love that first one. And we'll do Transformers one day. But I remember we saw Transformers and like, this is so cool, I love it, blah, blah. And I'm like in middle school. I'm in 7th grade at this time. So it's like, I'm the audience.
Right.
And my family was like, time to go see the new Harry Potter. I was like, I would rather go see Transformers again than see the new Harry Potter for the first time.
Huh.
It's like, I know the story, whatever. And I remember even thinking there's a lot. It's probably because of the changes book to movie. I'm like, I don't know. There's just something about this one that is not as interesting or compelling or something. But this is the most I've liked it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
For me, this was by far the most interesting, compelling of the 5. So.
We got pros, we got cons, and then we'll get into the deep stuff.
I have a whole lot of cons.
No, okay. This is like exact opposite of the Goblet of Fire episode.
We can start with the cons.
Let's start with the cons then.
Yeah. Get them out of the way. They're all little for me.
Okay. Take it away, Ernie. Take it away, Ernie.
What is that?
That's from Harry Potter. Yeah, Ernie. Take it away.
Oh, the bus thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they fly their brooms right over the water.
Yeah.
The water doesn't go like it usually does. That's how hard I had to look for. So Lucius is just still a part of everything. And we talked about this at the end of last episode.
I'm pretty sure it's not a book to movie podcast, but I think in the book that's just not the case.
Yeah,
I think he's a known criminal at this point.
Yeah, it's super weird that he's there after, like, he's the only one of the Death Eaters that got unmasked, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the end of the last one. So every time he showed up, I was like, what?
It's because we get a look at Jason Isaacs' Sweet Baby Blues.
What?
That's the actor.
Oh.
He plays Lucius.
That's Sweet Baby Blues, apparently.
He does.
So we have Lucius. Why did they change the fire face thing? The fire face was super cool in the last movie, and now it's just like projected on some fiery looking crap.
It's got to be because it's not how it's supposed to be in the it's supposed to be through flue powder. Like how they used to teleport through fireplaces. It's supposed to be, here's some flue powder. Let me just stick my head through. But the movie was like, let's make his head's in the fire. What does that mean? Let's have it literally be the fire in the 4th movie.
It looked
and now
like
it's like the cream. Yeah, it's just kind of whatever in this movie. So it's a weird mix between doing something radically different versus what it's supposed to be from the text, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
so they just like walk into the Department of Mysteries. Like, nobody challenges them. Nobody tries to stop them. Nobody asks any questions.
It's after hours.
Here's a bunch of... No, it isn't. Because that thing is packed when they got there. And they're moving through. There's all sorts of people in there. Anyhow, it's like, whatever. Okay, so the only actual con that I have is Malfoy's talking to Harry in the chamber, what is it? The Department of Mysteries. And he says prophecies can only be retrieved by those about whom they are made.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't Voldemort go get it?
I think it's because, great question, because they don't want to reveal Voldemort's actually alive. They're trying to keep that going as long as possible now.
Oh. That's really the only, Harry's wandering around in the woods. That was kind of dumb. Like, he just, at one point, is just out wandering around in the woods. Seems like a less than intelligent thing for someone.
What are you talking about?
Like when he goes out into the woods to see the weird horse things.
Oh, with Dolores and Hermione?
No, he was all by himself. I mean, he encounters the blonde girl.
Oh.
Eventually.
He's just... What? That's a weird thing to be upset about.
I mean, I'm not upset about it. I'm straining for cons is what I'm doing. But like, if Voldemort is obviously trying to kill you, you're not going to be wandering around in the woods by yourself.
Where Hogwarts is protected, like it's one of the most safest
obviously,
places.
we have 4 movies of it being quote unquote safe and quote unquote protected.
What? There's just giant spiders and snakes
and Voldemort gets in 3 times.
It's whatevs.
Yeah, whatever. Anyhow, that's all my cons. So I hope you have some.
Okay, I have a few. To get this out of the way, there's actually, out of the entire franchise of things not included that were in the books, there's a scene in the book that I wish existed. There's a part where they're at the headquarters, and there's like, there's a boggart up in the attic. And Mrs. Molly Weasley's like, I'll take care of it. Do you remember this part from the book?
Vaguely.
In the book, Molly's like, I'll go take care of the boggart. Simple spell, whatever. And they open the door to her doing it. And in the book, her biggest fear is her kids being dead. Like, she sees her kids bloody and dead on the ground.
Mm.
And every time she does a spell, it changes kids. But in one of the times, it changes to Harry being dead. So it's just like, she sees Harry as one of her kids. It's just this nice little moment. I mean, it's horrible, but it also reinforces this. Harry does have a family and all those things. And that's, out of everything that was left out, that's the one I wish was still in there. I guess the one other thing that not as serious but kind of fun, when they go to the hospital for Ron's dad, in the book they do bump into Lockhart, and he is all doesn't know anything and stuff.
Right.
That's just kind of funny. But that's where they find out as a reader that Neville's parents are alive, but they're just mentally not there. Yeah.
Oh.
And you never see them.
They left that out.
Right. You never see them in the movies, but in the book, Harry bumps into Neville and what are you doing here? And he's visiting his parents, who didn't die, but they were tortured so badly that they lost their minds. That's what happened.
So that's that weird scene in this one where
you kind of
Neville's looking at the picture or
something. It tells us that.
Yeah.
But you don't maybe understand, no, they're still alive.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
And because you get this, the prophecy is that this boy will come to stop Voldemort. And technically, it could have been Neville. Neville was born around the same time, It could have been about him, but Voldemort just for whatever reason, maybe there is a reason I'm just not remembering. It's let me take care of this one first, and it was Harry, and then the whole thing started. But in
kind of like a pilot killing all the
exactly
under kind of thing.
When you go kill the potential babies, this could have been about Neville. It could have been him, and it's this hypothetical reality. Harry realizes I could have had my parents live, and Neville could have been the boy who lived, or something.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things you learn. As Harry, he just learns my life could have been radically not what it is right now. My biggest con is I think the acting becomes kind of wooden and awkward.
Really?
There's a part at the end, they just have Dolores get dragged away, and they meet the other kids on the bridge, and they're just standing there. We took care of them. Oh, that's really clever. Now what do we do? I'm I don't feel like this is how people talk.
Like Harry and...
Yeah, Harry, Ron, Hermione, all of them. I'm this doesn't feel like how people talk or act when they talk.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I feel like that continues on from here, but I think the acting is weird in this. Especially just when they're just talking, standing. Maybe that's just me.
I didn't notice it.
I think the whole thing is Harry's mad that Dumbledore's not even looking at him.
That didn't come across very well
either.
Oh,
that's one of the other big ones. I'm it's a huge deal that Harry feels like Dumbledore's deliberately avoiding him.
Right.
Because he is, but it doesn't feel like he specifically is.
Right, at all, really. He just comes across as preoccupied rather than... Yeah.
I would say he's more Dumbledore-like than in the last movie, because Goblet of Fire, Dumbledore is just a crazy person.
That's interesting, because I actually liked a lot of the acting. I didn't really look at Harry and Hermione and Ron, but a lot of the background characters I thought were really, really good. Specifically Umbridge.
Okay, Umbridge is really good. In fact,
awesome.
We'll get to Umbridge. I just remember there's a weird scene in this that's always bothered me. Harry is walking out of something, and the two twins, Fred and George, they're giving there's stuff like they're whatever to some random student, and they're like talking so quiet, and it's like, see, it doesn't hurt as bad before. Like my swelling's gone down too. And then Umbridge walks in and says something, and then it's right before they do the fireworks stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so weird to me that
I think they're talking about the quill thing, right? Because
that,
they're all being punished by the quill.
I don't remember where it is, but it's just Fred and George and some random student that's not a character. The scene is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, I remember the scene. But
anyway, I don't know. It's hard not to think of book versus movie, but as it is, that's what I got for you. It's kind
okay, so not much, I guess. So then, it's got to be a pretty good movie. Anyhow. Okay, well.
Let me eat my carrot.
Eat your carrot. I'll do some stuff.
Okay.
So there are a lot of pros for me for this movie. Like, the biggest one is the illustration of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And, as, you know, the long-time listeners probably remember, we had an episode where I kind of lost my crap about bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy specifically, yeah.
Yeah. So I felt like this movie did a fantastic job capturing that, showing all of the, I mean, there are strengths to having a bureaucracy, but I think there are more weaknesses and drawbacks, and this movie did a great job. I loved how they introduced Umbridge. Like, she just kind of interrupts Dumbledore, and she's like, yeah, that was great.
Well, the thing is, there'll be people who say Umbridge is the worst villain out of all the books. Like, but I think it's because she's the most realistic.
Yeah.
Like, Voldemort is evil, obviously. He kills people. He's evil. But Umbridge, her type of evilness, we can
real.
see.
Yeah.
You know?
It's real.
So there will be a lot of people that say Umbridge is like the evilest villain in all the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if she's more evil than Voldemort, but
it just like, not, I don't think she is technically what she does, but like how she feels, I suppose.
Right.
Like,
I hate kids.
I'm going to take over everything by laws, and I got this whole attitude where I don't like things that are different or out of order.
Yep.
I think the most realistic villain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I specifically liked the I actually started laughing, the curriculum thing, the canned curriculum.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know, some of us in this room have gone through the battle against the canned curriculum, which we lost, kind of. And so I thought, yeah, anyhow. And just some of the stuff she says is just chilling. Like, I don't know. Because you're right. There are Umbridges everywhere in our society. And it's just kind of scary. Anyhow, let's see, other stuff. I like Harry's humility in this one.
Yeah, because he's forced to be a teacher.
Right. And when they're first setting it up, he's like, yeah, I did those things, but it was mostly luck.
Yeah.
And I don't know too many, like, quote unquote superhero type people in a high school that would be like, yeah, I just got lucky. They would write it for all it was worth. So I really liked that.
I wrote that too, because he doesn't say just luck. Hold on.
It was luck and other things.
But I agree that I don't know if there's any other movie that is as popular as big as Harry Potter where the main character says it sounds really good when you put it like that, but if you think about it, every situation, it wasn't just me basically.
Yeah, because there's really no one else in this whole world that has more to.
Oh, and he was clueless. That's what he said.
Oh yeah, that has more to brag about than Harry. I mean, he's done or been involved with amazing things.
Yeah.
He could be. Yeah. Anyhow. Like after Dumbledore escapes, my favorite line in the movie is Dumbledore's got style. That was just a fantastic line.
You're under the impression that what is the phrase? Will go willingly.
Yeah, got style. So I also love Snape in this. He is finally moving out of just kind of this token weird teacher that hates everything.
Page 394.
Into like a deep, rich character with background and action. So this, I think, is the first time, at least in the movies, that we actually understand why he doesn't like Harry.
I know, and that's one of the things where like I wish that scene was a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because it's more in depth in the book, obviously, but it's like you kind of get the impression, you know, it's the first time Harry ever considered that his dad wasn't perfect.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And Snape's like, no, your dad bullied me.
Yeah.
And that's just such a cool way to twist the situation.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And just him helping Harry would have been really difficult for someone to do. Like, this is the kid of the guy that basically ruined my childhood.
Yeah.
And I'm helping him to learn this thing that's really hard to learn, and that means I have to spend all this time with him. I have to,
and like they get to that breaking point where, you know, Harry does it to him and he sees the mind, and then like later on, like, oh, the one person that can help me is Snape, who hates my guts.
Right.
That's a fun build up to that situation.
Oh yeah. So the quote unquote humor in the Harry Potters that you think is funny, and I don't think is funny. This is the first movie where I actually thought, like all of the scenes with Umbridge observing the teachers, I thought that was hilarious.
You wanted to be the defense against dark arts teacher. Yes, and you didn't get the job.
Obviously. like just one little teeny prediction. Yeah, so I thought that was funny. So maybe that's why I liked this so much.
I think
it was actually funny instead of like, like they deliver the punchline and then they're like, yada! Yeah. Time for a laugh. Anyhow, I also loved because the twins leave. Like, they don't come back to Hogwarts, right?
They leave school.
Yeah. That whole scene was really well done.
Yeah.
Except for, I think Umbridge probably would have done something about it, because she obviously, like, we have all of those scenes we were just talking about where she's using her magic to separate people or
that's kind
pull up pantses or whatever she was doing. And then she's just going to get terrified at a bunch of fireworks.
Well, I mean, it was a lot all of a sudden.
It was.
They're out of there. I don't know.
But that whole scene was pretty great.
I think that's like the music-wise, that's the most Harry Potter music stands out. That's not the John Williams music. The twins do it because the song comes alive. Yeah, I can remake the song with my mouth, but that whole scene it's a lot of fun. I guess.
It is a lot of fun.
I don't think it's in the non-extended version, but when Filch is trying to blow the hair, her hair's like smoking. Oh. And he tries to like blow it out. I'm like, I've never seen that before. That's
really?
A funny little weirdly added moment. Anyway.
Yeah, that was good. Helena Bonham Carter
yes.
does this character phenomenally.
Yeah. It's like she was born to play that role.
Yeah, but she does. What other movies does she do something like this? I know she's in Hamlet. She's Ophelia, and she does Ophelia fantastically well. So she does kind of crazy a little off kilter really, really well.
Some other ones that feel the same. She is Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd.
That's who it is. That's who I was trying to remember.
Yeah, in the Les Mis musical movie, she's the one, the what is it called? The innkeeper's wife or whatever. Like, she's kind of similar in some ways. Where you know what I'm talking. Have you seen Les Mis?
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's this man and woman who run this inn. And they just steal money whenever they can. They swindle people all they can. And as the French Revolution goes on, they're down there stealing money off the dead bodies. It's kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
She's also the one lady in Fight Club.
That's right.
Yeah, there's enough that you can tell where
she does a little. She does a little off really well.
Yeah, exactly. She was Tim Burton's not technical wife, but they were together for years.
Oh, really?
They have kids together.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That they got along well.
She's in a lot of his movies. Like, she's like she's like the Queen of Hearts in the Alice in Wonderland movie. And, she's in like Big Fish, which I think is Tim Burton's magnum opus and stuff.
I haven't seen that either.
You haven't seen Big Fish?
And you react that way every time I see it.
Well, you should watch it then.
Okay.
Anyway.
And then I absolutely love just the feel of the end of this, where it's the youth, it's the teenagers that are like taking the mantle. They are recognizing this is what's wrong, and they're doing something about it. Like, that is so central to what I believe as a teacher.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was trying to find a lens. It's not the one I ended up on, but there's a lot of talk about adolescence and identity.
Yeah.
Or even like the students, their act of rebellion is learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
yes.
like the youth in Revolt is them learning on their own. Or, going against authority.
Yes.
To learn.
Right. That's a piece of I'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
With the philosophy. Well, or I guess we could talk about it now. Like, one of my biggest frustrations in life is the public education system.
But Dietz, you are a teacher in the public education system.
I am, but I don't follow the program, I guess. And so, like, I loved, like I mentioned, the canned curriculum thing. Umbridge's, like, her insistence on not allowing practical knowledge. It's all theoretical knowledge. And so, like, all of that is exactly, whatever. You can keep whatever you want of this, but it's exactly the type of education that bureaucracy has forced on us. Yeah. Good teachers, effective teachers push back against it, and provide practical or project-based experiences, which are, I think, so central to internalizing and actually learning stuff. But I felt like this movie did a great job capturing kind of a lot of the problems with public education, which is, like I said, probably my biggest frustration in my life. So, good job. Harry Potter 5.
Just the idea, because when you think of youth revolting, you're maybe thinking of like hippies in the 60s or 70s, or even like modern day, let's go protest, let's go march, let's do all these things for like whatever the case may be, like Black Lives Matter or various other reasons, like let's show our support. That's what you kind of think of. I think it's kind of cool, this one, because this movie is building up toward a government being corrupt. You know what I mean? Like, unabashedly, the government, the press, the media, it's all working in a way that, keeps people in the dark or keeps people questioning or keeps people whatever. And there's a lot of, like I said, I guess it's been a few years, but when I watched it this time, I'm like, this is like real life more than the other ones. Yes. How that government does things and how the media does things. But the youth specifically, I guess, what is it? This youth resistance, the subculture.
Dumbledore's army.
Yeah, it's like the youth specifically have to rise up if they want to make something happen.
And I believe that entirely. There's a lot of philosophy around that, but generally speaking, people in power don't give it up.
Right.
And so the people who are in power in real life are all adults. Yeah. So there is not really a motivation for the adults to change anything, because currently, they are in power. It's working. Yeah. It's providing them whatever it is that they think they need. And so if it's ever going to change, it has to be, there are some adults that are pushing back and rebelling, but for the most part, it's got to be the youth. It's got to be the teenagers. They've got to be like, you know what, this is bull crap, and we're not just going to complain about it. We're going to do something about it. Mm-hmm. So I loved that about this movie.
I feel like sometimes teachers become enemies.
Sure.
Because, like, on a technical level, we are hired to teach the state standards.
Right.
And I think this movie has like the, I guess, extreme version of like, let's take over the classes so you don't learn anything important or whatever, but you have to learn these things. And
I don't know that that's extreme.
I know. But like, I think if you looked at the state standards of any state, it's like, yeah, these things are what you learn in English classes. How to find evidence and cite sources and whatever. And that's useful things. But something you do and something I do, I guess, on the diet version, I suppose, understand big ideas are more important than knowing how to write about them, you know? Like,
or than knowing where the comma goes, or
right, yeah.
Right.
I tell my students, use Grammarly and stuff to fix your punctuation.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between Grammarly to fix punctuation and Grammarly writing an essay for you. Right. But it's like, that doesn't matter as much as knowing how to express your thinking.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Because you always, even to this day, you'll see people like, oh, they didn't teach that in high school. Or the schools in America don't want you to learn this type of history. And I'm always like, I don't know if that's true. But there are things that are not taught. And this is like the Harry Potter version of that. You know what I mean?
Like critical thinking. Anyhow. Like you can be like, those are great things to know. But if you think about, okay, being able to create in the world or be powerful in the world, those are not the things that you need to know.
Yeah.
Those are the things anyhow. I have a whole conspiracy theory and everything about this that we don't even have to get into.
We don't have to, but this movie is about that.
It is about that. So I guess what we can say in context of this movie is it is in the interest of the Ministry of Magic, which may or may not correlate with other departments in government, like the Department of Education.
Yeah.
It is in their interest to not have able students coming out of Hogwarts.
Yeah.
To not have students that can think, that can actually perform magic that would be important in the real world if crap hits the fan.
All right, I'll build on. I know I'm interrupting, but I'll build on to your. There is a theory I read online that said the fact that AI has gotten so easy, so accessible, is to dumb down a generation.
Oh, hey.
Oh, dear listener, my baby was sitting on my lap for like 20 or 30 minutes there, and you didn't even know. But I saw that. I'm like, you know what? There might be something there. I was talking to my class about the movie Idiocracy, which is about a normal, average, intelligent person got sent to the future, and he's the smartest person in the future. And I'm like, Bill's that is coming up.
It is, and it's terrifying on a number of levels.
Yeah.
I don't want to. So I'm making another podcast about education. If you want to know about the education stuff, go listen to that podcast. Anyhow, yeah. So,
but anyway, I think, but one reason this movie is, I'll say it for the first time because this used to be at the bottom of my list, is better than the other ones, is because it makes us think about the real world.
Yes.
More. And maybe it's just because real life has openly been more corrupt than it has been. It's always been corrupt, Deeds.
Right.
It just feels like recently.
It's visible now.
It's so visible now.
Yeah.
It's almost encouraged now.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want weakness.
Which is crazy. But anyhow, so I guess to take it out of education into the real world type thing, we have to be able to recognize and push back on bureaucracy, on rules for the sake of rules. Like there are rules that I think are important, like, I don't know, stop signs are pretty useful kind of things, but there are a lot of regulations that just hamper us and get in the way of our ability to act. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we need to push on that.
I was talking to you about a movie in Shin Godzilla. It's about these Japanese politicians and people. Like when Godzilla first appears, they have to have meetings about it. They have to have things approved and all these things to deal with a situation that's actively happening. And that's the commentary on like bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Let's hold on. We have to have a meeting about if we can accept this, whatever.
But we need a meeting about whether we can have a meeting.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absurd. Harry's speech, and I don't usually like raw speeches.
Oh yes,
I usually
know that.
But Harry's speech is great, and it's almost like a speech I would give.
What speech?
Just like when he's very first starting to teach Dumbledore's army, and he's up there and he's like, working hard is important, but there's something more important, believing in yourself. And it's like, and then he goes on and he's like, every great wizard started like us. If they could do it, why not us? Mm-hmm. And that's a speech that I would give. I do give. in the context
Yeah.
of like the Hopper's speech from A Bug's Life. And like, it's facts. It's true. Like, believing in ourselves, our society is doing its very best, I think, to destroy that.
The lack of individualism?
Yes. To
I
destroy it. To take out our ability to recognize, like we talked about in the last episode, to have strengths.
Yeah.
It's almost not okay anymore to have strengths and to be good at things. If you don't have, all these miseries and all these tragedies and sadnesses in your life, then, you're weird. And
my sister, I won't say what school, obviously, but when my sister got her doctorate, you have to defend your thesis and all that stuff. So listening to other students' thesis or whatever.
Go with it.
A lot of them was kind of that. This is why my life was hard. And this is why, or it was a lot like that. It's reminded me.
No, it's true. And so I anticipate this is going to be my favorite Harry Potter. Because
I probably will.
Because it feels like this. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, yes, can we just recognize that we're being ruled by fudges and Umbridges, and our ability to become powerful is being curtailed, and our ability to know ourselves and recognize our strengths is being curtailed, and our ability to be okay is being curtailed, and all we're going to end up, and if your thing about AI is true, we're going to end up with a bunch of people that can't do anything.
Right.
At all. And then what happens? That's what's coming, listener. Unless we rise up. Anyhow, go ahead.
Against what, Deets?
What?
Against what?
Against, here you go. Dead or the real bingo. In our spheres, we push back. Why are you laughing? It's true.
It is.
It's true. So, we push against the boundaries on us. Mm-hmm. Not all, I'm not advocating anarchy by any means, but identifying the things in our lives that are getting in the way of us being powerful, being, influential. Okay, here's another bingo card, social media. I think really, if we are conspiracy theorists, social media is the single greatest world destroying thing ever created.
Well, and also billion-dollar companies are actively trying to get you to be on their app for as long as
all
possible.
the time. Your life is on there.
Spending money and research to understand how to get more.
Yes. And if you're on there enough, the algorithms are not constructed to build you up. They're constructed to give you the most shocking so that you will watch more and listen more and whatever. So that the most shocking is never going to be, you're awesome.
Yeah.
You have power. You can do things. You can use your abilities to do. No, that's never going to be it. It's always going to be bad. It's always going to be, you're not as awesome as me. You don't look as hot as me. You don't have as much money as me, whatever. And if that's a constant, steady diet, we're going to end up completely depressed and miserable and ineffective as a human race.
And it's not even just, sometimes it's just about dumb things.
Yes.
I don't know on all the sites, but on Twitter now, currently X, if you pay, you can pay monthly for no ads or whatever. But if you get enough engagement, you get paid back, type of thing.
Oh,
so this is a real thing.
That's brilliant.
People are actively rage baiting about anything and everything just for engagement because they'll get paid money for it. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, stuff like that is what's going on right now.
That's a very smart business move, but that's that's crazy. So why are we allowing it?
So I have a question I was gonna say for later, but so a big part of this movie is the legitimacy lessons with Snape. Protect your mind.
Right.
So what is, I guess, and I'm making predictions what you'll say, but what's the real world legitimacy? In the movie, Harry Potter gets infected by Voldemort through his mind.
Sure.
What is the metaphor we can look at in real life. How do we protect our minds? Fortify our minds.
Well, there's a one-word answer, and then there's a longer answer.
Well, I want the short version of the long answer.
Okay, the one-word answer is why. Ask why all the time. No, like legitimately, there is no better critical thinking starter than that question. So, like asking why am I being, asked to do this? Why is this showing up on my feed? Why, I don't know, why are eggs so expensive? Any of that starts your brain, and once your brain is started and you keep feeding it, that's the shield. I tell my students all the time, this is the shield. I want to put critical thinking between, your movies and your brain, or, your friends and your brain, or your music in your brain, or your social media in your brain. That's our armor. I mean, that's another, I'm sure, bingo card thing, critical thinking, but that's what it is.
But but you're right. Everything. Commercials, music, books, movies, everything's trying to send a message, whether directly or indirectly. Mm-hmm. I would be thinking about that.
I would say I would go so far as to say every single communication is an argument trying to get you to think a certain way.
Yeah.
That's verbal communication, body language, everything is trying to persuade you that whatever they want is what you want.
Yeah.
Everything. And so if you assume that and you have this one word shield, why, I think that's the start of our protection. That's the start of our rebellion. That's the start of pushing back against the bureaucracy, against everything. Just ask why. Why is this person staring at me? Why are they trying to get me to do this thing? Just do it.
I have a day where I teach critical thinking. It's a tool I stole from you, but we watch a commercial and break down. They're trying to sell you a product. This is their argument. Yeah. This is what they want you to do and how they want you to change your life. And then what I do, because sometimes other things don't work as well, I show them a video called Dimensions of Dialogue, which is the short artistic film that has no talking in it, but there's clear messages in it that you have to think about. Anyway, it's just what's this one trying to tell us?
Yeah.
And you have to kind of think about it more than a normal movie, basically. So it's kind of fun, but asking why can defend your brain.
Yes.
You heard it here first. All right.
The longer answer.
That wasn't the long answer?
No, that was the one word answer. No, I'm just going to point you, if you're interested, the critical thinking model that I teach my students, and I think Ryan also does, is called the Paul Elder model. So Richard Paul and Linda Elder, I think. No, anyhow. Yeah, it's Linda Elder. So Richard Paul and Linda Elder developed a critical thinking model. It's called the Paul Elder model. We won't go into it, but unbeknownst to you, we've been into it a lot all through these episodes because it shows up all the time. But basically, it's eight concepts that if you have anything and you ask these 8 questions or focus on these 8 concepts, you will see every side of whatever it is. Yeah, we can.
You can just read the one.
Okay, I'll read the list.
Yeah.
So, purpose, questions, assumptions, information, conclusions, concepts, and consequences. Without any context, some of those won't make any sense. If you're interested, it's the Paul Elder critical thinking model. So, one thing to know about rhetoric. Rhetoric is the art of using language to get what you want. That's my definition of it. And if we assume that every communication is an attempt to get what that person wants, then the next part of the armor is to recognize that we're only ever seeing a 2-dimensional face of whatever their argument is. Mm-hmm. And so this model helps us to see what's on, what's the third dimension? What's on the back side of whatever it is that they're trying to convince us of. This is how you see the whole thing. Because, we're all rhetoricians.
Rhetoricians? Is that a real word?
Yeah.
I love that.
To a greater or lesser extent, whether we know it or not. But there are a lot of people who know it, and a lot of people who are very good at using rhetoric to manipulate you, to manipulate people around you, to manipulate how you're thinking. And so if we accept, which is kind of the non-critical interaction with reality, if we accept what we can see as truth without looking at what's behind it, what's on top of it, what's underneath it, then we're screwed. Because those people who know how to use rhetoric to get what they want are just going to play us like violins. And they are. And you can see that anywhere you look. You can see us being just played, moved around like chess pieces or like billiard balls or whatever. And so, short answer, ask why. A lot. Longer answer, train yourself in the Paul Elder critical thinking model and use it. And so there you go. That's it. Go.
Well, in a very not serious example of that, and I won't say who because family listened to this, but so there's a board game I like. It's called Secret Hitler, where one person's Hitler. You don't know who it is. You got to narrow it down. Process of elimination. Figure out who's on the good side, who's on the bad side. It's a lot of fun. A lot of pointing fingers and lying and stuff. There is a family member who I hate to play with because he does that and not everyone realizes it, and it drives me crazy.
Does what?
Like, he is trying to get to the bottom of it, like who's good, who's bad and stuff.
Isn't that the point of the game?
Yeah, but the way he does it is more like he's asking questions or saying things that not everyone realizes that's what he's doing.
So he's a master rhetorician.
Yeah, and it's frustrating that other people who play sometimes have no idea that's what he's doing. And I'm like,
because he wins all the time? Is that why?
Yeah, that's part of it. It's like, you're ruining the game.
Stop thinking critically and... Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay, I actually have, there's a couple random things I wanted to say about this movie. Blah, 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 blah. So, because... here's some things I appreciate and just other random thoughts I've had while watching this movie. It's funny that in the third movie, Harry Potter blows up his aunt. She flies away or whatever.
Sure.
And he has to talk to he's like, I'm going to be kicked out of Hogwarts. I'm running away. And the Ministry of Magic's like, oh, accidents happen. Because they wanted Harry on their side, Let's buddy up with him. But now it's the exact opposite. And they're doing everything in their power to stop Harry from doing anything. And I think, once again, there's probably some true-to-life examples you could think of where the same type of thing happens. The woman who plays the neighbor, her name is Catherine Hunter. She has this insane voice. Like, you can hear it in this movie. She just sounds so specific. But she's been in a few movies, including, of course, my beloved Andor on the Star Wars show. And she's always amazing. Like, she's the witch. She's the witch but the witch from the Macbeth movie. And she's just like unworldly how she sounds and how she talks. She's incredible. I love her. Whenever she pops up in something, she's always great. The dog Sirius Black turns into is this very, very, very specific type of breed. I know we saw it in the third movie, but you really see it better in this movie when he's walking through the train station. Yeah. And I know this because when I was in Vermont, as a missionary, we helped this one family move. They had this type of dog, and they told us about this type of dog. They're very expensive. And back in the day, only like dukes could own them because they're good at hunting specific types of things. So when I was there, the dog went into heat, and that was this whole thing. But they breed them for lots and lots of money. And this family was nuts because they all had this antique furniture, and we were moving them. So I had to hear about being careful with the armoires so much.
You mentioned that on
episodes. That's the same family. They had this expensive dog that Sirius turns into that he might not. You probably didn't think it mattered, but that's a dog.
That now I know.
I think Gwarp basically represents everything Umbridge despises. That's kind of why he's in the story. It's like, you are a non-human who can't even think. You are like the opposite of everything life should be type of thing. Because she calls the centaurs near human intelligence or something. And they get all mad at her and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think Gorp, because Gorp in the books comes back in the next book. Like he's actually, he pops up in the 6th and 7th book just for not a lot, but there. This is the one and only time you'll see him in the movies. But I guess that's his purpose in the movies. He needs to represent the exact opposite of what Umbridge is preaching. I like the Death Eater redesign. We got rid of the clear, obvious KKK symbolism. They got the hood and the masks are, I just think, way better, if I'm being honest. Here's one thing I hate, actually. Everyone can fly now. That's not supposed to be a thing. In fact, in the book, it goes out of its way that says Voldemort can fly, and that is, like, no one even knows how he does it. But in this movie, starting here, that everyone can fly. They turn into smokes, black and white smoke, you know? Yeah. I hate that just because it's supposed to be distinctly only something he can do. And whatever, everyone can do it.
See, this frustration is why I don't generally watch movies of books that I love.
I know, you're right.
Because, yeah, it pissed me off.
The 3 things that I do love. Sirius Black just punches Lucius.
Yeah.
And I love the idea that wizards can't fist fight. Because why would they? They have magic. But Sirius, he's like against the curve. Like it even says in the books, he like has posters of like Muggle women instead of like wizard posters and stuff. Because he just wants to make his family angry. Just the fact that, I guess maybe mostly headcanon, like he could throw a punch because he had bothered to learn how, as opposed to no other wizard even. Why would I? You know?
And so he doesn't even defend himself because totally unexpected.
You know, punch wizards, just spells. Yeah. When he says "nice one, James," that's like
that's cool.
Like a beautiful, like it's bitter and sweet, you know. Yeah. But you mostly get this moment where he accidentally says James because he's just like the good old days, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
And then Harry screaming in silence is actually really.
Yeah.
The whole battle with Voldemort and Dumbledore is really cool. You get this really cool sound when he flips this wand and the water comes up. It's like that one tiny specific detail is so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's I think one of the key themes is obviously fear.
Yep.
Voldemort wants people in fear so he can get them to do what he wants, even if they don't realize it.
Yeah.
Like the Ministry's doing exactly what he wants them to do, but they don't realize it because they're denying his existence. But he wants people in a state of fear. But I think it's kind of cool how in the 4th movie, he's like, the only thing people are going to say about you is how you beg for your life. And like, you'll never escape from me again. But then he does.
Right.
And I like how it's basically implied, but Voldemort's like, okay, Harry escaped from me. I'm not going to take over now. I'm going to pretend like I'm not around. Like, at least I'm assuming this is all subtext, but Voldemort is choosing to make Harry look like a liar.
Yeah.
Like this, the logical thing to do when you let Harry escape you once again, instead of just being...
Or just destroying his whole social support system.
Yeah.
Could be a part of it too.
Well, my favorite quote, or basically the only quote I wrote down, is when Sirius is talking to Harry, and it's like, the world isn't split up between good people and Death Eaters. There's good and bad in both of us. Or in all of us. Because...
what matters.
Yeah.
Is the part we choose to act on.
Right. And
that's who we really are.
Because, like, I think if the famous question, is mankind inherently good or evil? I think good. People who you do not like, let's say, is probably a decent person. But even if they say things you disagree with or they do things that make you angry, you know, isolated, they're probably decent.
Yeah.
You know? But I think groups of people are evil. Like when you get a bunch of people together, that's when like the shades of black and white become more specific. Like, but individuals, I think, are inherently good.
Yeah, I think the problem with groups versus individuals is that individually we can think and make decisions for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
In a group, there's generally no one person thinking and making the decision.
Yeah.
And since critical thinking is something that we have to train ourselves to do as a group, we just kind of devolve to a non-critical mode of interaction. And that's why groups, like it's mob mentality is what it's called, or groupthink. That's, I think, why. Because there's just there's no one's in charge of thinking. And so thinking doesn't happen.
And it's so easy, especially now, it's like modern social media, just to say, we've mentioned this, but like blanket statements, you know, like, oh, people who think this are bad, you know, like as it's like, well, that's not nuanced,
right?
But it's you whittle people down to this or that, you know, because I'm so hyper aware of all my flaws, you know. And, you know, like last week we talked about, what are you good at? What are things that you can do well? If you look at Sirius Black says there's good and bad in everyone. I think that's true. We have the capacity to do all sorts of bad things if we wanted to.
Yep.
But I think usually people don't. I remember it's Jeffrey R. Holland. He has this quote there's a talk I heard once about love, and he pointed out, like, I could destroy my wife. I know her so intimately well that I could find the parts that would hurt her the most easily. But love, that's not even a thing. Like, it's allowing someone in to trust them that will never happen. Yep. I think, but we have the means to do really bad things if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And I think most people do not do that.
Yeah. And I think that's important to realize, because we get to the point where the whole world, our thinking is the whole world sucks, everything is terrible. Well, if that were true, then society would be over. Like, if everyone was a terrible person, everyone was just doing what was best for them, society would end very quickly.
Yeah.
And the fact that society has not ended and is not ending suggests that you're right. We all, generally speaking, act not just in self-interest, but in the interest of other people in our spheres. So, there you go.
See, what's interesting, though, is so this movie is also suggesting to make a change happen, you have to do something.
I agree.
And what's curious, I don't know if you listen to the pod, but I had a friend say, did you write to your senators and representatives? I said, about what? And he listed a few things that's current events type of stuff. And I wonder, though, what do we do besides the sphere thing, Dates? Because you're right. And maybe there's not an answer, but like, I have my sphere of family, friends, other people as
students, colleagues.
What I could do, but like, is there something we need to do more or should do more than that? Like, for example, my friend suggested writing to representatives and stuff.
There's a cynical answer and a less cynical answer.
Go for it. I don't know what you're going to say.
Well, cynically, I would say you can't. It's not possible to affect outside of your sphere. Mm-hmm. So you are, at least in part, in control of how big your sphere is. Mm-hmm. So like if I ran for office, my sphere is much larger than I'm just a high school teacher. So you could do that.
Yeah.
But I guess the more cynical answer is it doesn't matter, because most people are acting in the interest of the people that paid for their campaign.
Yeah.
So, I said most people. I recognize that is not true for everyone. But, here, I'll even go one step further, even more cynical. I think all of the protests and all of the letter writing campaigns are just a way to diffuse energy and diffuse power. Because if you write a letter to somebody, that's in your mind, you're like, yes, I did something, and now I don't have to be responsible to do anything else. Well, I don't know what happens to those letters, but I know from I grade thousands of pages of student writing every year.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would read all of the letters that came in if I didn't have to, because I've got like all this other stuff I'm trying to do and these lesson planning and blah, blah, blah. I genuinely love grading my students' writing, because I love seeing their brains work. I love seeing how they take and be creative, but I'm not sure that our bureaucrats or politicians or whatever read them or even care or acknowledge that they are. So that's why, rather than spending our strength writing letters or standing on a street corner in downtown of your city with a sign, who is that going to change? Who is that going to affect? I mean, possibly someone's going to see your sign and be like, oh, yeah, I should do something. But I think a much, much more effective use of your energy and your anger and your frustration is in your sphere, because those are the people that you can convince. You can use your rhetoric. You can use critical thinking to help them see the world the way that you see the world.
I guess that's even what Harry does.
Yes, that's exactly what he does. And I was going to bring that up. Like, that's exactly what he's doing. He's not, hey, all of Hogwarts, we need to whatever. No.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would have been shot down. He's got enough enemies or enough people that are not interested in him being successful. He would have been immediately shut down.
Yeah.
So he just, in his sphere and with his strengths and his set of abilities, which don't include herbology, but he's not beating himself up. Oh, I don't know herbology. It doesn't include potions. He's not beating himself up. Oh, I don't do potions. No, he's got his limited skill set that he's good at. Yeah. And that's what he gives the people in his sphere, who then go out and do amazing things.
Yeah. It's what, I guess, you're willing to suspend the belief at the end when they have the fight. No, they've been training for this.
Yes.
Like this specific thing.
Yes, that's exactly.
Even though the Death Eater's flying and it's stupid, but still.
But so like that's one of the main reasons, in addition to the, I think, accurate depiction of bureaucracy, that I love this movie, is because this is exactly what we talk about all the time.
I can't believe how much, and this conversation's affecting it, but I'm like, oh, maybe I like this one more than some of the other ones now. It's like rising up in the ranks in my mind as we speak.
I'm glad. Because this is by far the best one in my opinion. So.
Because, Voldemort wants him alone. That was the whole thing. Yeah. He wants you to feel and be alone. And that's the lesson he tells Voldemort. Not the lesson, but he's like, I have people. Like,
yeah,
he has a sphere. He's got.
Yep.
He has.
Not alone.
He's not alone. That's
the power of love,
and that's what I guess. Maybe less so bureaucracy, government stuff, but people, if they can get you alone, they can win. They can have power over you.
So that's the other side of the power of your sphere.
Yeah,
is the support. Sphere. The support that you get.
Wait, there's not a side to spheres. There's circles.
Okay. Well, the inside pushing out and the outside pushing in, it all supports.
Okay.
But
it's like the dark side of the moon.
Yes.
That's a sphere.
That is a sphere.
It's spherical. I got hung up on your metaphor.
It's spherical.
You were saying something good. I'm sorry, audience.
But Luna, in after Harry wandering around in the wilderness, encounters her. She says, if I were you-know-who, I'd want to cut you off from everyone else. And that's exactly true. And if we bring it back into the real world, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Like people, not whatever. People cannot, or I'll say it like this. People are becoming increasingly unable to interact socially with each other.
I'm one. I will go out of my way not to say hi to someone sometimes.
And so if we take Luna's, if I were you-know-who, I'd want you to get cut off from everyone else. I'm not saying who you-know-who is in the real world, because I think there's a lot of you-know-who's in the real world. But if we allow that, then exactly what Voldemort wanted to happen to Harry is going to happen to us. We're going to be alone. We're not going to have a sphere to support us and love us and lift us up. And we're going to be run over.
Hold on. I feel like, so I want to get to all your stuff, but that's what a lot of society is gearing toward, is be by yourself. Yep. I saw it was kind of treated as a joke, but not at the same time. Like playing video games back in the day, you're on one couch playing video games out. You are just by yourself. You could talk to people online, though. Like but you're still by yourself.
Like when I played video games as a kid, I was not by myself.
Yeah,
I had a room full of friends, and we took turns, trying to save the princess or whatever. Yeah, it's a real thing. So Voldemort, I really like this movie a lot. So Voldemort is trying to do to Harry what is being done to us. The Ministry of Magic is trying to do to Harry and Hogwarts exactly what's being done to us. And Harry is doing exactly what we need to do to fight back against those two things. We need to bring our sphere in get us all on the same page, get us thinking critically, and then push out. I don't want to say it's time to rebel, but it's getting pretty dang close.
The problem is when you say something like it's time to rebel, it's like...
Rebel usefully.
Yeah, rebel against what?
Rebel critically.
I think this movie, the bureaucracy and government stuff, might overshadow that in people's minds, but I think that's just equally as important.
Yeah.
I like that, dude. Because it takes an army, Dumbledore's army, a community to make change happen or to get something to happen.
Yep.
All that stuff.
One person in their sphere, and their sphere, and their sphere, and their sphere. That's the whole world. 7 degrees. So you mentioned fear as a big part of this. And I agree. So that's the other, like the fourth piece of this movie's equation as a metaphor for our life, because like Fudge, somebody, I didn't write it down, but somebody said Fudge isn't in his right mind. He's been twisted by fear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if we accept that idea as that is what motivates bureaucracy, then all of our bureaucratic rules are based in fear, not strength, not power, not even the desire to help. It's just fear.
I guess, but the problem is some of that is for protection, admittedly.
Fear.
Yeah, like someone gonna abuse a system, so let's have rules.
Yes.
So people can't abuse it. But
yes.
You're right, it is fear.
It's fear. I mean, I'm not saying that, again, that all the rules and regulations are bad or wrong, but if what this movie is saying is true, all of those are based in fear. And I mean, you can look at even the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Uh-huh. That was created because of fear that the United States of America was going to become another dictatorship or whatever, like England was.
Right.
And so all of these are based on what might happen. What do we need to prevent? And initially, it was just the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, but it is the nature of bureaucracy to give birth to more of itself.
Yeah.
And so if you have ever seen a legal thriller and you like look just at the books behind the lawyer, that's our law. And it's like hundreds of volumes of law. For what reason?
This movie is kind of a little like a political or legal thriller.
Yeah, I agree. And so, like specifically for you and me, I think I already mentioned the curriculum thing, but I think it's really interesting that adopting a standardized curriculum in education as a fearful response. I think that's really interesting because the rhetoric that was used.
Are you thinking about the specific law that?
No, I'm not thinking about that law. I'm thinking about our battle against canned curriculum. Like, anyhow, the rhetoric was there's safety in the approved curriculum.
Right.
That is a 100% fear-based, attempt to manipulate the behavior of a group of people. Actually, let's do it like this.
Okay.
Let's be more general.
Okay.
So anytime we force standardization on anything, it's a result of fear. So, for example, we could even look at like the auto industry. They standardized seatbelts in my lifetime. I remember not having seatbelts.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Like I grew up in a car where we just kind of climbed all over the seats while mom was driving.
Yeah. And
so
you were fine.
I survived. I did. And so the standardization of seatbelts is a fear-based move. And so I feel like anytime we're standardizing like Coke or whatever, like Coca-Cola, it has a standardized formula, standardized taste, a standardized way of mixing it. Like you can, if you take critical thinking and look at anything, like it's about fear. And so the question becomes, do we allow this culture of fear to dictate how our lives are? Or do we push against it? And I've been saying that a lot. Push against it, rebel. I'm not like this doomsday.
Who are you so mad against?
I'm not this doomsday person.
Just say names.
And I don't think, like I already said, I don't think our society is screwed. I don't think people are evil, essentially. I think that we are at a moment in our society where major changes are occurring and they're not positive. They're not moving us towards more ability to act. They are boxing us in, isolating us. And I just see the trend. And we need to push against it. We need to stop it. Because once we get in those boxes, there's no one to help us, no one to defend us, and we just die. Yeah. So, I don't want to be like the guy on the hill that's like, the end is coming. But, I mean, with this movie, if we take it at its face value, we have those things in place.
Yeah.
We have a bureaucracy. And if that quote is right, it's based on fear of what might happen. We have the active isolation of all of us.
Yeah.
And all we have to push back is our sphere and our ability to think.
Yeah.
That's brains. It. And if we don't start doing something with those two things, we're done.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's one of our bread and butter go-tos.
It is.
You don't have to start a movement. You don't have to...
Nope.
Have so much money to do a thing. Just start your spheres.
Yep.
Start thinking about everything. Hey, thinking critically. Hey, that's our podcast. Hey, it's full circle.
So this is another one of those moments where I have to admit that I am glad that I was forced to watch this specific movie. Because I think this specific movie in this series is very, very pertinent. And if we can learn the lesson that this movie has to offer, I think we have a chance. Thank you for forcing me to watch Harry freaking Potter.
Was it the third time this has happened? Maybe fourth time?
So I could get this movie.
I would imagine this will be your favorite one. I like that, dudes. I like that. I mean, there is admittedly a lot more here than I remember. And even compared to the last one, or the Phoenix, Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
You're right. There's just a lot more to kind of think about.
Yeah, my kind of movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't have Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh my.
Which I watched the Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yeah. I don't like that movie.
I love that movie. Ironically enough, it's got two of my least favorite actors in it, but
right.
I love it.
I think
it's like poking fun at all the stupidity of the action genre. Anyhow. So I'm done.
Okay, I found a thing, posthuman. I guess it's also maybe called the mind-body theory. So it's the key idea is the self is unstable and permeable. So, and this one, it's pretty obvious where it comes into play because Harry's mind is literally invaded by Voldemort. Yeah. Like his mind isn't even safe. So like I guess there's questions about free will. Who are you? Like your identity. Like I like how Harry does this like head turn thing. Yeah. Because Voldemort does it, and Harry does it sprinkled throughout. If you're paying attention, you're like that's the thing Voldemort did. And throughout the movie, Harry does this chin thing. And it's like, who even is Harry if he's also kind of Voldemort? Yeah. So it's kind of like interesting. Look into, is your mind your body? I guess that's probably why it's called the mind-body.
Or how does your mind, which one's in control?
Yeah, like your moral responsibility, like who's responsible for Harry being angry or whatever. Because he says that, I'm just angry all the time. Which I think he doesn't really feel angry because a lot of the movies him teaching these lessons. He's doing a great job. Yeah. I think in real life, it's easy to be angry all the time because I think, and I'll even say I struggle with this sometimes too, when it feels like you aren't able or I'm not able to do something I think I want. And I am a parent of 3 kids. I'm not going to have all the free time. Sure. Hardly any free time, it feels like. Yeah. So when I found this mind-body theory, it says the key insight is that humanity is defined not by power, but by emotional connection. So that's the whole thing. It's like, I have love and empathy. You do not. And Voldemort, that's what happens at the end. His greatest weakness is love and empathy. He literally can't even understand what other people. That's because like Voldemort's racist in the end. His whole thing is wizards are better than muggles, and we gotta take our rightful place, basically.
Right. So how does that work since he's not pureblood?
Exactly. It's I don't know.
Does it ever resolve that? Or?
In the movies, it's not so much, but it's definitely like, but Voldemort, your dad was a muggle.
Right.
But he still placed himself on the pedestal of it.
So he doesn't ever
because his biggest supporters are purebloods, you know?
Right.
I don't think the movie really dives into that specifically.
So do you think he is like Hitlerian? Mm-hmm. Because Hitler's the same.
Yeah.
The Aryan race is basically everything that he's not or wasn't, I guess. That's interesting.
Right. But it's kind of, in a way, just what you've been saying is what I just said. Like, in the end, what's going to change people? Is it power? Restriction? No, it's probably going to be emotions, connections, the mind-body theory. How your mind and your body can maybe be different, or which one's the real you. In this case, he's kind of Voldemort in the mind. Because it is kind of a fun twist, because even though Snape literally says Voldemort will make you see things that aren't real, and even Hermione's like, is this real, Harry? What if it isn't? And Harry's like, no, it's got to be real. Yeah. So we can't even... Anyway, that's just kind of a cool way to make a twist happen in a magical world, you know?
Yeah, that is. That's cool.
I think that's basically everything. Because I had ideas. We've talked about all ideas, like the youth and the youth rebelling by learning, which I love. Like, let's go learn, guys. The whole I knew you were going to tackle bureaucracy. Yeah. But I just love how it's not just bureaucracy. It's like they're being surveillance, you know? People are watching them. Yeah. And how do they gain power? By subtle rules. It's just like, it's like Nazi Germany, but it's also like Animal Farm, you know? Hey, how do the pigs get to top power? Slowly, you know? Yep. Very slowly.
One little rule at a time.
One little rule at a time. So I knew we'd talk about that stuff. This is not really important, but the guy who plays Filch, he's so easy to be detestable. For once, he looks kind of gross. Yeah. But also, if you've seen Game of Thrones, he's responsible for one of the most tragic things happening in the entire series. So it's always like, Filch, you did this, and also that other thing in the other show. Anyway, I like this movie a lot more than I did before this rewatch.
Cool.
This was literally the bottom.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder, is there a online poll or something where people say this is my favorite?
There's lots of polls like that.
I'm curious what the breakdown is.
Because I've seen even relatively recently, best Harry Potter movies. Azkaban's always up there, and it feels like Goblet of Fire and maybe this one are kind of the best. Except for I think a lot of people like the last one too. But you'll even get 6, which, well, we'll see, because I usually don't like that one at all. But this random one I just Googled has Prisoner of Azkaban. This person says Philosopher's Stone, Goblet of Fire.
But there's no
Prisoner of Azkaban. This
percentages or...
Half-Blood Prince. So there's 2 for the next ones. Half-Blood Prince. Wow, a lot of Half-Blood Princes actually. Interesting. Chamber of Secrets. That's kind of fun because I don't agree with that. This person said Phoenix, Azkaban, Phoenix. Anyway, that was one result of one. But that's what I mean. What makes this one this whole franchise a little bit interesting is there's not one set. It's like Star Wars. You can almost guarantee it's Empire Strikes Back. You know what I mean?
On purpose.
And Pirates of the Caribbean, not as big, but usually it's the first one.
That's interesting. ChatGPT disagreed.
What does ChatGPT say? Deeds?
So I asked ChatGPT, what is the favorite ranking of the Harry Potter film? Number 1 is Azkaban. Number 2 is Deathly Hallows Part 2. Then Goblet of Fire, then Deathly Hallows Part 1. 5th is The Order of the Phoenix, then The Half-Blood Prince, then The Philosopher's Stone, then The Chamber of Secrets.
I think Chamber of Secrets is usually near the bottom of these. I think that's fair. We'll see.
I don't know.
I usually don't like the next one at all, but I also really don't like this one usually.
But now you do.
Now I do.
Woo-hoo-ha-ha.
But I wonder if it's because since the last rewatch, the real life world stuff that has happened.
Maybe.
Paying attention to the news and things.
But it's always been happening.
I know. I don't know. Maybe
it's just more like you said. It's just more visible now.
Yeah.
The manipulation is out in the open.
Yeah, and it feels. I don't want to be specific, but there are some things this is what's going on. Well, actually, maybe I should be specific.
Sure.
Like, okay, I don't know all the ins and outs, but we've kind of feels like we're trying to declare war in Venezuela right now. And the answer that's being given is because of drugs and drug running. But I'm like, this feels like it's about more than that. Like, it seems painfully obvious that it's not about drugs. Yeah. It's about something else. Yeah. That's something recent. Even though it's the drug of choice is fentanyl, in which we had an assembly about. Yeah. That's what, like, hey, we got to, and yeah, I agree. Keep that out. That is a drug that can kill people, and it will be bad if more and more get into the drugs. Yeah. But it feels like that whole situation isn't about drugs. You know? Do I know what it is?
It's the two-dimensional thing that we're being shown.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's next week. We'll have Jason's choice.
So if you are one of my students and you are listening to this podcast, that movie will be Interstellar.
No way.
Yes. Literally? I've never seen it. I've had years worth of students begging me to watch it.
We've talked even about that.
Yeah. And so I am going to relent. I will watch Interstellar. I don't really have a good reason why I haven't.
You're just being stubborn.
I don't have a good reason, really. I mean, at some point it just became funny, the reactions that people had. But so, yep, that movie will be Interstellar. So 2 weeks from now, I will finally watch Interstellar.
That's so exciting. Man, that movie is so good. Like, I know...
That's what I hear.
Not to wax on about the movie we'll be watching in 2 weeks, but there is probably one of the best scenes of all time in that.
I hear all of those things all the time.
Nolan, his next movie, the trailer came out today, and I haven't watched it.
What is it?
The Odyssey.
Oh, that's right.
With Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway's in it.
I love Matt Damon.
Tom Holland's in it. Zendaya's even in it. There's a bunch of people coming into that movie. I think Robert Pattinson's even in it. Anyway, stay alive. You know, whatever.
Well, cool. Anyhow, but I really liked this movie a lot. I added it to my list of favorite movies, which now has 188 movies on it.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Because our students probably haven't seen all of Harry Potter like they would have not too long ago.
Right.
Because this came out in 2007. It's almost 20 years old now.
Yeah.
But I bet you can still get a lot of fun conversations, like the best ones, Order of the Phoenix. And like,
I'd be interested if any of my students had an opinion. They probably do.
Yeah, I'm always surprised. They're like, oh, I'm watching Harry Potter for the first time. And I'm like, it seems like...
That means you're old, Ryan.
I know.
Welcome to dotage.
That's fair. Anyway, we love you.
We do. Please go think critically. Please influence your sphere to positive, good, and useful rebellion.
Yes, useful rebellion.
Yes. Rebel usefully. So, we love you.
We love you.
See you next week.
Bye.